forgotten in the dark. The Galactic Council didn't speak of Earth, not because it was forbidden, but because it was irrelevant. In a galaxy stitched together by wormholes and warp lanes, Earth was a smudge in an unremarkable spiral arm, orbiting a yellow star in a backwater system. To the Zalari, the Threk, the Valdrin, Earth was a primitive, polluted world of infighting tribes and flickering technology. In the Council's official classification, humanity was marked as pre-stellar Tier 1, contained, if necessary. So when Earth activated its first stable Alcubierre drive in 2443, the Council barely reacted. A monitoring probe logged the anomaly. The data was forwarded, buried under hundreds of priority files. No alarms, no meetings, just a formality. But someone did notice. High Chancellor Kirix of the Ven Empire, a race that had ruled for 9,000 years, saw the potential threat. He remembered the last time a new species defied the natural order. It took 3 planetary extinctions to suppress them. Send an envoy, he hissed to his advisors. Make it clear, Earth does not rise. It obeys. The envoy ship arrived above Earth within days. A sleek diplomatic vessel escorted by 2 patrol frigates. It hovered silently above the moon, transmitting one message on all human frequencies. By decree of the Galactic Council, Earth is offered protection under the Empire. In exchange, you will surrender orbital authority, military assets, and technological patents. Compliance ensures survival. Rejection invites correction. The world held its breath. Inside the newly built Global Union headquarters, a metallic arc rising above what was once Geneva, President Amara Reyes, her face hard as steel, stood before a panel of Earth's last remaining leaders. This is what we waited for, she said. Not their offer, our moment. They see us as insects crawling into their garden. Let them. Some argued for negotiation. Others, submission. Earth had barely united. Climate recovery was ongoing. Weapons systems were untested. Their fleet, 18 ships in orbit, was laughable compared to what the alien empires fielded. But Amara raised one hand, calm and final. If we bow now, we'll never stand again. She turned to the communications officer. Broadcast this. Her voice went out not just to the envoy, but to the stars. To the Galactic Empire, Earth does not yield. We claim no dominion, but our own skies. You will not protect us. You will not own us. We are not the first in the stars, but we will not be the last to rise. The alien envoy paused. Then, without ceremony, the Ven ship and its escorts powered weapons. From that moment, humanity's message changed, from peaceful defiance to preparation. They didn't expect us to resist. They would learn, because Earth may have been the last to join the stars, but we were already preparing to rule them. The first fire, they thought we'd kneel. The Ven Empire called it a correction fleet, 3 capital cruisers, each one larger than Earth's orbital stations. They arrived within 6 days of Earth's refusal, escorted by automated drone wings and a command vessel known as the Judicator of Order. Its purpose was not war, but example. The Ven didn't conquer planets, they made statements. This was to be one. Global Union Command watched them arrive through telescopes and satellites. Even with enhanced sensors, the ships shimmered like distant gods. Hulking, humming, impossible. Humanity's leaders gathered in orbit aboard the ESV Resolute, Earth's first long-range warship, still barely space-worthy. Admiral Sarai Cade, former deep-sea sub-commander turned space tactician, stood before her officers. Her voice was quiet, but sharp. We didn't come to this sky to beg. Our world survived ice, fire, plague, and war. What we've built, however small, is ours. And they'll learn that size isn't supremacy. Humanity had 18 ships. Only 4 had shields. None had faster-than-light weapons. But what they did have was desperation and minds that had long since stopped playing fair. The Judicator of Order sent one final message as its ships moved into Earth's orbit. This is not war. This is enforcement. Do not resist. They fired without waiting. Plasma lances boiled the upper atmosphere. One orbital platform, Harmony Station, exploded in a white-hot bloom. 1,100 lives lost in the opening shot. Humanity responded. From the dark side of the moon, the ESV Phantom emerged, its hull cloaked, carrying a prototype weapon, the Grav Lance. A weapon so unstable, even Earth's own engineers weren't sure it would fire twice. It only needed to fire once. The Grav Lance locked onto the lead Ven cruiser, Thalrock. A rippling distortion surged forward, compressing space in a focused beam. The cruiser folded inward, crushed into a singularity for half a second before exploding into plasma. The stars blinked. Then all hell broke loose. Drone swarms descended toward Earth. Human fighters, small, fast, and shieldless, weaved between them like hornets, detonating nuclear-tipped warheads at near-suicidal range. The ESV Resolute took a hit to its engine core and drifted aflame. Crew evacuated in drop pods, some crashing into oceans, others lost to the void. But Earth did not fall. One last maneuver. The ESV Valiant, damaged and venting atmosphere, activated its emergency FTL core, directing it into the heart of the Ven command vessel. The resulting implosion consumed both ships. Silence returned. Only 3 human ships remained functional. Earth's orbital ring lay in ruins. But above the smoking planet, only one flag still hung in the sky. Ours. Across the galaxy, surveillance drones recorded every frame. Sentient species watched from distant systems. A whisper echoed in alien tongues. The humans fought back. It wasn't a victory. Not yet. But it was a warning. We might be new to the stars, but we don't come in peace. The rise of the Iron Star. The wreckage of the First War hung in orbit for months. Broken ships, shattered satellites, drifting corpses in silent graves. Reminders of the cost of resistance. But humanity didn't mourn for long. We rebuilt, faster than anyone thought possible. In the aftermath, Earth's global divisions finally collapsed for good. The old flags were lowered, replaced by one, a black field with a silver star, radiating iron spokes in all directions. The Iron Star, not a symbol of conquest, but of resolve. From beneath Earth's surface came the forges. Deep core fusion reactors lit up. Shipyards were carved into the rock of Mars. The moon became a staging ground. Mercury's poles were mined for exotic alloys. More importantly, we began decoding the wreckage of the Ven. Their AI systems, previously considered too dangerous to tinker with, were cracked by human minds that had long danced with chaos. Dr. Elisa Hahn, a cyberneticist from New Kyoto, led Project Genesis, an initiative to merge alien software with human instinct. The result? Adaptive combat algorithms that could learn during battle and rewrite ship protocols on the fly. No other species had dared it. But we were never ones for caution. Within 7 years, Earth's defensive fleet had grown into a mobile strike force, the Iron Star Armada. 100 ships, half of them crewed by volunteers from across Earth. The rest? Crewed by allies, species the Empire had enslaved, who now saw humanity as more than rebels. They saw us as a chance. Among them were the Tarshek, freed from their labor cages, the Varn, insectoids who communicated through chemical bursts, and the Solari, beings of pure plasma once trapped in containment jars by Ven scholars. Humanity didn't just free them. We invited them into the fleet, into command councils, into war rooms. Admiral Kira Valen, once a junior officer on the ESV Phantom, now commanded the entire Iron Star Armada. She stood aboard the HSS Vengeance, the first human-built dreadnought, addressing a bridge crew of mixed species. We don't fight for glory. We fight for the right to choose our future. The Empire ruled by blood. We will rule by fire, until every chain is broken. The first target was not a military one. It was Archon's Reach, a Ven-controlled relay station in neutral space. Rather than destroy it, Admiral Valen issued a single transmission. Withdraw, or stand trial for enslavement. The Ven laughed. So Earth responded. 3 squadrons of Iron Star ships arrived. In 28 minutes, the relay station was in flames. No civilian casualties. Every slaver taken alive. Tried, sentenced, and exiled into deep space. News spread faster than light. The humans weren't just surviving. They were leading. They were liberating. And the galaxy had never seen anything like it. The last to join the stars. We're becoming the first to change them. Now we rule the stars. They called it the last stand of the Empire. Though it was less a stand and more a final, desperate lunge. After 15 years of war, the Vin and their allies had lost hundreds of systems. Species they'd once enslaved now fought alongside humans. Trade networks collapsed. Supply lines burned. What once stretched across the stars now fractured like a dying sun. Cornered, the High Chancellor summoned what remained. 600 warships, pulled from dying fronts and hollowed worlds. They converged on a single objective, Earth. Their plan was brutal. Decapitate humanity, shatter morale, and prove to the galaxy that rebellion only ends in ashes. But humanity was no longer the same species they had tried to bully. Earth was no longer a lone planet. The Iron Star Armada waited at Orion's Gate, an ancient wormhole junction linking 6 regions of space. It was the only route the enemy could take. Humanity had fortified it with everything they had: mines, smart drones, singularity bombs, and their finest fleet to date. 200 ships stood ready, small compared to the enemy. But behind them surged fleets flown by Varn, Tarshek, Solari, and others once broken by the Empire. Admiral Kira Valen stood on the command deck of the HSS Vengeance, her eyes fixed on the expanding wormhole. Her voice cut through the silence like a blade. They come with force. We answer with will. Remember who you are. Not what they told you to be, but what you chose to become. The wormhole flared. And then, fire. The battle lasted 6 hours. The Empire struck first, flooding the gate with their oldest tactic, overwhelm. But humanity didn't meet them head-on. They bled them, ship by ship, in coordinated retreats and sudden ambushes. Human-designed AIs jammed their comms. EMP mines fried their guidance. Allied strike wings punched holes in their flanks. At the center, the Vengeance charged forward. Valen's ship took 3 hits to the hull. Fires raged below deck. But she didn't turn back. Her target, the Ven flagship, Crown of Infinity. She ordered a breach assault, a maneuver no admiral had dared since the Martian mutiny. Drop pods launched through the void. Soldiers stormed the enemy ship in hand-to-hand combat, breaching the bridge. Valen herself stepped into the chamber, plasma rifle in hand. The Ven High Chancellor looked up from his throne, defiant. "You are nothing," he hissed. "We were nothing," Valen replied. "Now look around." She raised her weapon and fired. When the smoke cleared, the Empire was gone. What replaced it wasn't an empire, it was a union. Built not on dominance, but defiance. At its center was Earth, not as a conqueror, but a compass. Children across 1,000 worlds now studied human history. Not because of fear, but inspiration. And on one distant colony, a young girl looked to the sky, pointing at the Iron Star flag as it shimmered among the stars. "We were the last," she whispered to her brother. "But now we lead,